Here is every death in The Sims 4, starting off with base game. The newest addition is Death by Meteor. If you stare at the sky for too long, you get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to experience a meteor strike up close and personal. The only downside is that you have to exchange your life for this amazing opportunity. Next up, we have the classic Death by Starvation. If you don't feed your Sims, they will die. It's as simple as that. Death by fire is a common cause of accidental death, although it takes a long time to kill you. Trying to fix electronics when you don't know what you're doing is never a good idea. Well, unless you have a death wish. We all know how Sims are with pools, and even though they have become smarter and don't need a ladder to get out, if you drain their energy while they're swimming, they will drown. The most important death, at least in my opinion, is getting eaten by a cowplant. If you get eaten twice in a row, there is no coming back. The most wholesome death, if you can even say that, is death by old age. After your sim has lived a full life and is ready to pass on, they will wave goodbye and lie down to rest in peace. The next few deaths are triggered by extreme emotion. If you were ever so embarrassed that you thought you could die, well, in The Sims you can. And it seems like the Grim Reaper doesn't want to waste a second. He was there before she even fell on the floor. They said that laughter is good for health, but too much of anything can have bad consequences, and you could say that death is one of them. Hot-headed Sims have a higher risk of cardiac explosion. They should really learn how to better control their anger so they don't end up dead on the floor. Your elderly Sims can get dangerously tired if they work out or woohoo too much. And now that you have been reminded of all of the wonderful deaths in the base game, I'm going to present you every pack that came with a new death. Let's start off with Spa Day. In this pack, you can relax in a sauna, but if you spend too much time in there, you will overheat and die. With Romantic Garden Staff, we got a wishing well that can grant your wishes. However, if luck is not on your side, it can transform you into a ghost. City Living brought us cuisine from all around the world, and one of the recipes you can learn is how to make puffer fish nigiri. It can be a delicacy if you prepare it correctly, but if you do it poorly, it is deadly. Just like in classic vampire lore, vampires don't like sunlight. If they stay outside for too long, they will burn and die. When exploring temples in Jungle Adventure, you can get poisoned by going through a poisonous gate or being hit with a poison dart. Once you have developed the symptoms, you can try to find an antidote or let the nature take you. If you don't take care of your rodents and let their cage become dirty, they can retaliate by biting you when you play with them. By doing that, they can infect you with rabbit rodent fever, which will slowly kill you unless you find a cure. Since seasons brought us weather, it's only logical that the new deaths will be related to it. If you're wearing warm clothes while it's hot outside, you can die from a heat stroke. And if you don't wear cold weather clothing while it's freezing outside, you will freeze over and die. With a high enough skill, you can scent your arrangements with dead flowers. If you then give this to an elder sim, they will die. If you don't find shelter while it's storming outside, you can get struck by lightning, and it's true that you could get superpowers, but most likely you'll die. A pond that came with Get Famous isn't just a great way to show off your wealth. It can be filled with piranhas or even sharks, and if you don't feed them and jump into the pond with low needs, they might just devour you. The last step of solving the Strangerville mystery is killing the mother plant. When you're fighting with it, you can lose and get eaten by it. A surprisingly high number of people don't know that there are sharks in island living. If you stay in the ocean for too long, you might be able to spot them. At first, they will just give you a warning to leave the ocean, but if you don't listen to them and stay in the water, they will eventually come back and drag you under, drowning you in the process. Spellcasters can be extremely powerful, but even they can be beaten. If a spellcaster keeps on casting spells, they will fill up their magic meter, and if they don't stop, they will cause an overload, which will kill them. Knowledge is power, and you can share that power by contributing knowledge with the help of the research machine. You will even get paid for doing that. Just don't get too greedy, because sharing too much of your knowledge will drain your brain and kill you. Murphy beds are great at saving space, but be careful when they get stuck. Fixing it might just cost your life. Eco Lifestyle gave us the ability to farm beetles and other creepy crawlers. When you max out the mixology skill, you can make beetle juice. By drinking 3 of them, one after the other, you will turn into a ghost. Another death that came with this pack is just as nasty as the first one. Interacting with flies can trigger an attack, and that is a truly horrifying way to go. Vending machines are great, until they get stuck, and while trying to get what is rightfully yours, they can topple over and crush you in the process. Another death that will surely break your bones is death by falling from the tallest climbing wall. Bad weather and low skill will ensure that it happens. Rabbits may look like innocent creatures, but don't underestimate them. If you keep on being mean to them, they will attack you and even kill you. Just like rabbits, chickens also hate when you make fun of them and are not scared to fight back. Some teams just love to test their luck, and even though everyone keeps on telling them that the urban myth is real, they just don't listen. At least not until they experience it for themselves, and by that time it is too late. You know what they say about karma, right? Well, stop pranking people, or you might end up like this guy, dead, with only himself to blame. The last death came with the 4 rand expansion pack. If you enable the Mold Lord challenge and don't take care of your home, mold will sprout. Black mold is toxic and it will slowly kill you, eating you up from the inside out.